showtime!
Got a little bit of gasoline. Got a little bit of gasoline.
Tell me no cuss at me like that.
Can't you see how high I am, motherfucker?
Curse at me like that. Put my weed down.
Loosen up your man bonnet.
What are you talking about? Put my excuse me. It's a do-rag. It's a do-rag, and I'm very proud of my man bonnet.
I like the let's call it a bonnet.
Nigga, I thought you was trying to show me a pregnancy test. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I swear to God, I was gonna say the same thing. I swear to God, I was about to say, I was like, what
the fuck going on around this motherfucker?
I'm like,
let me just say this, motherfucker. Man, I will fucking lose my shit. If I had to have
let me tell you, I was about to lose my shit for you.
For a year, I was looking like,
you see the meme when the kid goes like this and all his boys go, oh, I was about to go.
Man,
are you crazy?
I wouldn't dare.
Can you imagine?
Bro, let me tell you, I'm about to have this vasectomy in this bitch in the hot bed to make sure.
I had mine 1 month after my youngest daughter was born.
Yeah, you niggas is old.
I wouldn't dare.
Yep, it's official.
I fixed my shit when I had a
snip. Your niggas a snip.
Are you in there?
11 years ago, I got it.
Wait. So I'm the only male on the podcast that's not neutered? I'm
right.
You're
the only person, period.
Time out. No one's neutered. What we're saying is we're considering it.
It's way better for you to do it, Vic, than for her to do it. Don't let her have to go do it. You do it. It's way
easy for us
for you to do it.
Hey, look, it's easy.
It's hard. It's hard.
Vic, it's easy, but I'm being honest with you. The hard part is laying on the table, conscious, and fucking 2 women holding your jam with your nuts, shaving your shit, cleaning your shit up before surgery. Just be like, yo.
You nigga be trying to focus. Please don't get hard. Please don't get hard.
Chris, you can't control it, bro. You can't control it.
So I know what happened when it came through.
That's the hardest part. Wait, so Eric, you saying that's the hardest part?
The embarrassment of it. Yeah, kind of the embarrassment of it.
You know what? Hey, Eric, I'm such an asshole. I'm a what do you call them, Chris? I'm a pop a rhino.
Oh, you trying to pull a Deshaun
Watson? Just to make it interesting.
I think you.
I'm gonna just sit there though. No.
I actually apologize.
I'm just gonna sit there though.
I'm sure a lot of people are comfortable about that. But
you guys are making a great impression.
If that's the hardest part, then you definitely got to do it, Vic.
You got like 4 or 5 days of pain. To be honest with you, not even real.
I'll think about it at kid number 8. I ain't got no kids yet. I got a list. Kid number 8, I'll think about
it. I feel you.
I'm probably saying too much, but that's what I do on here anyway. But I'm gonna keep it a band with you. You know, what if my lady leaves me or something? You know, gets tired of my shit at some point in the future, and I snatch up a 30-something. Like that can happen, and you just never know. Who am I to deny the great seed on this earth?
So basically, you'd be willing to have more.
Think about it like this.
That means
you know how many dummies you're reproducing?
I would never.
You counter that balance by giving them the good shit every once in a while. Yo, let me tell you, the last thing I would ever want right now is a seed. I'm clowning. But when I think of the snip, those thoughts are behind. I'm like,
I don't know about that. I'm not getting neutered.
You know what I would tell the next one? You had that motherfucker by yourself.
Word is bond.
That's fucked up.
For nobody.
I ain't got shit to do with that. You had that motherfucker by yourself.
For nobody.
Dion can say that. You can't say that, Eric. Men can't say that.
That's why I've been saying. That's why you got the vasectomy.
Of
so you
course
don't take
you're not
the
gonna
chance.
get neutered.
Dion
You young and you ain't got no kids.
Yeah, what's your young buck?
Dion got one more child than I got. So I've had enough.
I have no more goddamn kids. I got myself fixed.
You got 5.
Dion,
I got
you got
4.
3, Dion, right? Or how many you got?
Nigga, I got 5. I got 5 kids.
Oh, that ain't nothing.
That's a lot of kids. You're crazy. That's a lot of kids.
That's 4 more than 1.
I was shooting for 3. It was them last 2. Them fucking twins was a headbanger, man. I didn't have no more kids.
That's what it was.
I wanted
D said the fucking twins. God damn.
And yo, real talk, I was supposed to I was just gonna go get my tubes tied. And I kept putting this shit off, and putting it off. And I wasn't on birth control at night. One night we was drinking, smoking, and it shit just went bad. Now my twins are here.
Yo, let me ask you a question. I'm trying to think, like, if I had more money, how much would I actually pay to see you in your man's face when you found out it was twins?
Yo, that nigga was excited. I was crying. I'm crying.
Damn.
Yo, I wish that nigga was in here right now. I cried for 2 months. I was so
for 2 months, guys.
Listen, y'all. I didn't go back to work. I stayed home. I had to. Matter of fact, I thought something was wrong when I was pregnant. I'm like, something wrong with this pregnancy. So I told him to stay home because I just felt like both of us shouldn't be there to hear bad news. So I was like, you go to work. I'll take my mom. And he was like, nah, ain't nothing wrong. You'll be fine. So I'm like, nah, it's just a regular checkup. I'll go see, what's going on. But in my gut, I felt like something just wasn't right with the pregnancy. So me and my mom go. And yo, the bitch doing the sonogram, she like, yeah, so mom, you should have 1 more. And I'm like, 4 is enough. This one was a surprise, blah, blah, blah. So finally she printed the shit out and she handed it to me. And she was like, I see 2 viable heartbeats. Yo, I said, my baby got 2 hearts. And my mother was like, my mother said, no, dummy, you're having twins.
That's hilarious.
Crying. Just like that.
My baby got 2 hearts.
Or this mom just started crying. Because in a split second, we had got rid of everything. So in a split second, all I thought about was 2 car seats, 2 cribs, 2 strollers, 2 everything. So
oh my God, yeah.
And how old are these twins?
They're 13 now.
They're going to listen to the podcast. They're going to be walking past you all silent.
That's the center. One of them is the center.
Huh? What'd you say?
You cried for 2 months, huh?
I cried for 2 months. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. The only thing that got me back on track, because I went to work. I mean, this kind of sounds morbid, but I went back to work, and it was this girl that I went to high school with. So at the time, I had the twins. I was what?
Now I do realize we got to start a podcast at some point.
Oh yeah, you're right. All right, let me tell you this real quick. But she had breast cancer, and I was like, your hair looks nice, and she was like, it's a wig, and I'm like, I know. She was like, I'm going through chemo, and at that point, she was like 30 years old, and she said that was her 3rd time, having to deal with cancer. I was like, yo, I sound like a dick, getting upset about giving life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Giving 2 lives.
Yeah,
And that's kind of what got me back on track. But I was like, I don't want no more fucking kids.
Yeah, real life situations are homeless.
I
just want to ask y'all, man.
Fucking bum.
I know we had spoke about T.I., but you think with all the allegations and all that stuff in this video, you think that the album he's about to produce is going to have any success?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because there's too many people who will believe the story either way.
So I guess it's safe to say that you don't believe that the cancel culture has caught T.I.
Yeah. It has for the most part, but people love controversy, and they're gonna.
Well, he's been corporately
blackmailed, yeah. But people still gonna fuck with him until he actually get found.
That's a good point.
Some type of evidence or something. Music-wise, they're gonna hear him. Yeah.
You're right.
Well,
I think you're right.
You bring up a great good point, because initially I thought it was a bad look, but the majority of his sponsors have dropped him. So he may be in a what the hell do I have to lose phase where he's just, just tired of the bullshit.
Either way, he'll be all right. Either way, he'll be all right.
So it's probably
I hope let's be clear. I hope he'll be all right. I hope he'll be exonerated because I don't want,
Unless
like, dude, listen, I love T.I. I've been bumping his music for a long time. He's a pioneer in what he did coming out of Atlanta, that whole trap scene. He's a pioneer. He's an OG. And it would suck for everything he did to have that bullshit on his name. Like, I want it off, and I would love
it'll ruin his name.
Yeah, I want that shit. I want that shit off of him because I want him to shine. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't need that. We don't need that. Like,
hey,
but
T.I., if you're listening, we hope that you make it into the top charts with your new album.
maybe, but we know Kendrick.
I didn't say that. Yeah, I didn't say all that shit.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. If someone I know and trust sends me a track and they be like, "Yo, this shit is fire," I'm listening.
Right.
Just like any other hip hop, I'm listening. You know.
Well, so far we know he hasn't. A lot of rappers haven't done what Kendrick Lamar has done. His album has now spent 400 weeks on the Billboard 200 album chart.
Which one?
Bananas. Good Kid, Mad City.
It's been how long?
400 weeks.
In the top 200. 400
weeks.
I call cap.
That's about what, 7 years? That's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you.
Does that sound
I'm gonna give you a list of rappers who've never done that.
Does that sound believable?
Lil Wayne.
That sound believable?
Little Wayne.
Snoop. And any other
motherfucker from Cali. Why would you think that's cap?
Never done that.
That's cap because we in the era where people manipulate numbers. They got these machines. They paying these radio stations to get certain amount of streams and spins. People manipulate Billboard too. Artists have compared about this. People manipulate numbers. Tell me where do you go and hear Kendrick Lamar problem? I mean, play.
Yeah, but poetic justice literally still plays on the radio. Still plays on the radio.
I wish him. I'm proud of his success. That's good for you.
What did you just say?
It's real good. Kendrick Lamar is boring, and actually, people don't listen to him like that. So I'm wondering where these numbers coming from. Some is just not adding up.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you a
the
question.
songs still come on the radio.
Bro, when you say people don't listen to him like that, who are you speaking for? Because last I checked, you're alone in that room. What do you mean people don't listen to him?
When people post on social media, when you actually go out in public, you hear music playing, I don't hear Kendrick Lamar. Mainly because he doesn't make music. Mainly because he only put out something every 4 years, but you don't hear
maybe it's because he didn't put out any new music. It's
exactly. So
it's not strange.
But
it's
what we're talking about is his old album.
Yes, it's not strange for a musical artist to take off 3 to 5 years in between projects sometimes. This is a common occurrence for musicians. This is nothing that's unreal.
It's not a common, no. Certain
it is.
Certain artists do that.
Let me interrupt. Let me interrupt. Hold on. Let me interrupt. This is not 2005, 2010, 2015. The game has changed. These artists now get bags outside of streams, outside of music. So it's not like before when they had to drop every 2-3 minutes so they could get paid and get money. Now the game has changed, dog. It's just that's
what I'm telling you. People manipulate numbers.
No, I'm not talking about manipulating numbers. I'm talking about nobody's dropping an album every other year, every 2.
That's different. You guys are getting sidetracked. Y'all getting sidetracked.
No,
that's not the topic.
You're holding it against them, and you've been holding it against them because he doesn't drop frequently. We're talking about the first album. Like Dee was saying, she's talking about the first album. You can't convince me that people are still streaming his first album. 400 weeks later, you can't convince me.
I think they are.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are. My daughter does. I'm positive my daughter does.
Hey, listen. This is what's fucking hilarious. He's sitting here saying we can't convince him, but Billboard convinced us, saying it's been on for 400 weeks. We don't need to convince you. Shit's fast.
You're right. It's on Billboard. Which is why I said they manipulate numbers, but I mean, when the last time you heard a Kendrick Lamar song?
Oh, Billboard is manipulating numbers for Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, for artists.
Well, why would they do it for Kendrick Lamar? If you want great numbers, you do it for Drake or
artists.
Yeah.
Certain marquee artists. They made Kendrick.
Can we mute him for this session?
Please, you can't mute me. Not me. But look, like I said, when the last time y'all heard a Kendrick Lamar song?
Ask you a question, bro.
That's why I said poetic justice.
How you think Cali shitting on the
Well,
God?
seriously,
When the last time you heard a Kendrick Lamar song?
I can't pinpoint
Talk
a
about
date,
it,
but
public or
poetic
just in
justice
general?
still comes on the radio.
But let me tell you,
Talking about it public or just in general?
Chris.
God, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't answer it,
Chris,
basically.
I asked you a question.
His last album was 4 years ago. And when he dropped his last bit of
Exactly.
music, it was amazing. It was classic.
You're
and
right.
Some music. No.
You're right.
You know what's the problem? You young motherfuckers are focused on frequency. You want shit to be
Consistency.
popping all the time. And that shit is
Consistency.
That
That's
shit
like
is
frequency.
trash.
Consistency.
You're getting greatness. I'd rather have, if I'm getting greatness every 4 years, I'll take that over some bullshit every 2 years.
That's you.
But it's cool.
I'm not. No,
It's
I'm
cool.
not. No,
It's
I don't
cool.
believe in that. I believe in the older school of putting out material, putting out albums. I don't believe in that taking a half a decade off. No. Give me tape every year.
That doesn't necessarily take away from what's happened here. Whether he puts out, if he never puts out another album again, he still has this album that's been there for
absolutely
7
right.
to 8
This is
years.
the greatest.
No one can take that away. No one can take that away.
Let's be clear. If Kendrick Lamar never dropped another fucking album, he's top 5 in Cali history forever. Ever. Right now, today.
He's about number 5. He's about number 5.
Because you motherfuckers ain't known for being lyrically inclined. So when you get a dude from Cali that's got bars,
Wait, let me ask you guys a question. Okay.
Hold on. The top 2 best diss records ever created was California People. One by Ice Cube.
Okay.
And the second one is Hit 'Em Up, who killed New York. We demolished New York many times when it came to the rap beat. Don't do that. Y'all couldn't see us in the rap beat. Don't do that. We took over your coast. You can't do that. Come on now. Come on now.
Tupac Shakur from New Jersey.
Hit 'em up, man. Hit 'em up.
Tupac Shakur from New Jersey.
Oakland adopted him. He was from Peru. He was from Gangbang.
Tupac Shakur from
What
New
you talking about?
Jersey.
From New Jersey.
He thought
Listen,
Westside.
do you guys at least agree that it's a classic album?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So why is it a surprise that a classic album could stay at the top of the charts for so long? We're talking 200. We're not talking about the top 10.
Because
we're not talking about the top 50 or the
I
top
get you.
100. It's the top 200.
Because it's a difference between a classic album and an album with replay value. That is a great album. It's a masterpiece, but it's not replay value this long. Because the album came out a long time ago. Very long time ago.
Chris, so here's my problem. How do he said it? I didn't. He said the word masterpiece out of his mouth.
I said that.
So,
I never said it
a
wasn't.
masterpiece, that word in and of itself tells you that it is timeless. It's always going to be played. It's a fucking masterpiece. So you contradicting yourself.
All masterpieces are not always played. It's a difference between classic album and an album that has replay value. That's why that's why future albums get more play than the Kendrick Lamar. That's why people with up-tempo beat. Future gets way more play than Kendrick Lamar because he has more replay value. Even though it might not be I'm just letting you know. Because you couldn't name the last time you heard a Kendrick song.
If you sniff
I heard one today.
You got.
It took you 10 minutes to say that. It took you
Kendrick?
10 minutes to Cap, Eric. It took you 10 minutes to answer that question. You ain't heard one today. You ain't heard a Kendrick song all year.
Hey, Dion, Google fucking streams and see if Future's getting more streams than Kendrick, even though Kendrick ain't dropped in 4 years.
I said replay value.
Future
I said replay value. He's getting played in more
Streams is
public
the same
places than
shit.
Kendrick
All
Lamar.
right.
Who's being,
Get out of
listen,
here.
we got other stuff
Get
to
out
talk
of here.
about.
Get out of here.
got
Go to a
tons-
bar.
We got a couple of things
Are
to
you
talk
from
about. I won't say
Cali?
tons, but we got a couple
Are
of
you from Cali?
topics to hit.
Where you
Game is
from?
top 2. Game number 2 rapper from the West. What you talking about?
Oh my God, Los Angeles, stand up.
Fuck out of
But
here.
you know it ain't
Anyway.
time you gotta hate on Game. Go ahead.
Anyway.
I'm about to hate on Game. Go ahead.
Anyway.
You know what I'm saying? They some haters.
Hey, Chris, edit this.
We got stuff to talk about, so you want to introduce us?
Eric, you look like you in a trailer.
He's so riled up.
My bad. Yeah, I forgot we was going to the intro.
I was ready to cut you off.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot I was doing the intro. Yeah, with enough about all that arguing over music, we got a motherfucking podcast to get into. What up, y'all? It's the weekend. It is Friday night. Fucking Eric look like he in a trailer. You got D, the MVP. She popping as usual. You got Hollywood Vic. Face red as shit. Buzz as hell. You got Chris G. We the Arrogant Underdogs. How y'all doing?
Y'all fighting.
Eric, you do look like you in a trailer. I don't know why you look like you're in a trailer right now.
Hey, yo, Eric laughing your double wide, baby.
Eric said, I got a capper, bitch. That's pimpy. That's pimpy. What's going on with y'all?
Not much.
Hey,
What's
man.
happening, people?
Hey,
You know
I'm
what
in a
it
good
is?
mood.
Hey, motherfucking salute. Happy motherfucking Father's Day weekend.
Happy
to all
Father's
the
Day,
OGs,
y'all.
To all
Salute
the
to y'all.
Pop Dukes making it happen.
Vic, Eric, two
Y'all.
great dads. Two great dads.
All your
Salute to y'all.
flowers. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. And just want to say that, man, you know, it's an underrated day. We need some
Very
more props.
underrated.
We need some more motherfucking props.
Under celebrated. Preach. Facts.
But salute to all the great
Salute to
fathers
the-
out
What
there.
y'all doing? Y'all doing anything fun?
The silver lining, fellas. I just want to tell y'all
I thought he was
this.
gonna say
Everybody
something.
listen, all the gentlemen listen. You can't be a daddy unless you have some unprotected sex, baby. That's all I'm gonna say.
What the?
That's all.
What's a
I'm gonna say.
condom?
That's
What's a
all I'm
condom?
gonna say to you.
Never heard
Can't
one.
be a daddy
Never
unless
heard
you
of
have
one.
some unprotected sex. You dig it?
That's the first
Look,
one.
look, pull out. Soldier boy voice. Pull out.
This
Shoot
is
the
why y'all
club
day is
up.
underrated.
Shoot the club up.
That's the highlight of y'all day right there.
We play football with no helmets, baby.
Y'all-
Turn off the light!
Wow.
Are y'all doing anything? Are you doing anything fun?
No, not really. Just chilling, man. Just chilling. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
gotta
enjoy the day with my children on Sunday.
I gotta see what my brother do. I might go barbecue. Might go
We may be
barbecue.
going to a brewery.
Oh
You
shit.
know, live band, little picnic
Nice.
area,
That's
you
always
know,
nice.
some shit
I'm
like
glad you
that.
brought that up really quick. I wanted to say
So-
I've been noticing a lot of black-owned breweries popping up and stuff. And
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have
One
two
day I
here
want my own
in
tequila.
Jacksonville.
I make my own tequila one day.
We have two here. Yeah, very nice. So you know who's allegedly gonna have another Father's Day?
oh, somebody had some
Damn,
unprotected sex. Who was it?
Somebody allegedly had some unprotected sex. So Mello,
Allegedly.
right? Some woman came out and it said that Mello allegedly fathered her twins, and so it also came out that Lala filed for divorce. So that means if it's true, that means he had a baby or twins while they were married.
I allegedly believe her. I mean, shit. I'm not. Shit, I'm talking to hater too. I'm just saying, look. It's wrong. It's wrong. I
But
think
if
it's
they're
wrong.
separated, it's a fair game.
That's what I'm saying, because I think technically it's wrong because you still married. So if you gonna do something like that, you ain't gonna get rid of them, get them papers done. But let me cut Carmelo some slack. No Ma'am University. Lala has been getting her body done. She's been on shows like Power, getting fucked, having titties out and stuff like that. So I might see him getting a little offended and be like, you know what? She's bothering me, so I'm gonna go smash her. He's a basketball player. That's
So
what they
does that
do.
mean?
So if they separated, you can't expect a basketball player not to do something like that. I'm sorry. Gotta blame
to not
Lala
get
for that
another
one. She
woman
said,
pregnant?
yeah, I mean,
Hold
they
the
shut the
fuck up.
club up. They
Wait,
basketball
no.
Time out.
See, this is a
Face
whole
mask, look.
other. This
Have
is
you
a whole. It's levels to this shit.
I need to, we need to clear
It's
this up.
levels to this
You
shit,
sounding
right?
real crazy
If
right
you,
now.
Black men don't cheat.
do
Black
what
Are
men
you
don't
you
cheat.
telling me?
But
Are
you-
you telling me? Are you saying that because that woman went out and started establishing herself in her own career, that justified him cheating because she simply went out and started establishing herself as a professional?
When did I say that? I exactly literally
you
said
that she was
that-
on power getting fucked.
that's exactly what I said. I wasn't talking
Exactly what
about
you said.
the
Right,
thousands
but-
of other movie scenes and show scenes.
She's
I'm
an
talking about
actress. They're not really
That's
fucking,
business.
Chris.
every
That's-
actress don't have to show their ass and titties and get smashed
Okay,
all the
but
time.
that was her choice. But that doesn't mean that you go have a baby. She's not literally having sex with somebody. She's not literally.
But you know what? Some people react to certain things different. He's a celebrity. He's a known basketball player, so he might.
Unless Halle Berry's in the movie, then of course.
Because I think I read something about him being mad about her seeing the power and stuff like that. So depending on his type of ego and stuff like that,
you
can
saying
offend
that
him.
it's okay for him to go have babies while he's
I'm saying if I'm worth $100 million and I'm
What are
separated
you
from my
saying?
wife, she's showing her titties on TV, I might skeet in the model and make some twins. And shit happens. That's what I'm saying. It's levels to this. That he's a high value man.
I will say this
High
though.
value man
You
don't
guys
cheat.
think, is it fair game because they're separated?
Well, I will say this. I think that if she is doing a lot of alterations to her body, that means that she's also spending a lot of time healing and probably is not capable of having sex. So
I didn't even think about that.
if you're doing a lot of these things,
You
you
guys are
spend a lot of
assholes.
time in
Toxic.
hospitals, recovering.
toxic.
Are straight up assholes.
This is toxic.
I can see, somebody of that caliber, maybe not wanting to wait until she heals up. But the point is, he was out here raw dogging. So, my man Mello was.
But every time a dude does something, he'll always gotta fall back on something the woman doing. No, if
Well,
he out there doing what he doing, that's on him. That don't mean
I'm
it's
toxic.
because
I'm not
That's-
making
that's
any
true.
because
excuse.
she's getting
I'm
gonna
her
say this.
body done and she gotta
I made an
heal. That was
excuse.
a decision that he made.
I'm toxic.
As a man who's been married for
Here you go.
September will be my 10-year anniversary. What fucking here we go? I'm giving some perspective, bro. That
Dr.
little
Phil.
single ass.
Come on, Dr.
I don't even know if you're single. My bad. I don't know if you're single. But anyway, my
I
point
got
is
4 or
this:
5 of them things. No, go ahead.
when you break up with someone and you're in that separated stage, right? That stage, you're gonna do 2 things. If you want that woman, you're gonna walk a certain way, and that is your audition to get the relationship back. And in that separation stage, you're gonna do certain things to get her back. If in that separation stage you are skeet, then it's a wrap, and it's that simple.
I disagree.
It's that simple. It's that simple. Dion, think about it like this: if you're separated, you're not divorced, you're separated. First of all, they were divorced and separated. Let's be clear. Let's get the facts straight. They started dating again.
Right.
So they didn't get divorced. They started
Got separated.
dating again. She
They're
started
separated,
going
yeah.
to Portland. Right.
Which
So
leads me to
while they were
believe that we're trying to
separated-
work on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So while they were together, they started dating again and talking to each other again. Then when the rumors and the news dropped that he was having babies,
That's
that's where
so wait, if y'all with a woman
allegedly-
and she has a baby by
allegedly.
another man while y'all are separated, it's okay? You be good with that?
Hell no, she better get the fuck out of here and kick
No.
rocks.
Y'all
God
some
bless the baby, but
assholes.
fuck her. Yeah,
Y'all
fuck
are some
her.
assholes. So it's okay
No.
for Melo to do it, but it wouldn't be okay for Lala to do
I
it.
never said it
It
was okay.
depends.
No,
Depends. I didn't say it was okay either.
Yes, I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
keep
talking
this shit
shit.
on. I'm gonna keep it 100. Hell yes, okay. He's a basketball player. She was a housewife. Well, I'm not gonna call her a housewife. She was a wife. It's a double standard, but I don't give a damn. That's just just the way it
But
is.
how do you
He's
explain
exempt.
that to your son? How do you explain that to your son? You tell
Christian
your
male
son
chauvinist.
it's okay for me to
I'm
do
gonna
it,
go. What's that name of that movie? Is it He Got
but
Game or
Chris, so
something?
you got to explain to your son that you basically still married to his mom, and you did that to his mom. How you gonna look at your son and tell him that?
I'm gonna sit him on my nice ass couch because I'm a millionaire, and we're gonna watch Love and Basketball where the same story played out, and he's gonna deal with it that way. Son, I'm rich. I'm $100 million. Everywhere I go, it's 25,000 bitches trying to fuck me. I'm a basketball player. I'm a celebrity. It is what it is. You gonna go through the same thing when you grow up.
I think it fucks Melo over way more than.
What if he don't? What if he doesn't? What if he's not a basketball player?
I mean, you know, kids, sports people do that, but still, it's kids are going to be forgiven. They're your kids. They might be heartbroken for a month, but they're going to forgive you, especially if they're living in a mansion and got a car at 13 and got big screen TVs. Let's keep it real. It's not the same life. Hey,
Dion, he do got a point. As long as he's a loving father and he's there for his kids.
Yeah, son. Oh, you mad? Let me buy you 32 Xboxes. Let me buy you an 80-inch screen. Yeah, you cool with me. You fucked up, but you cool.
You can definitely be a bad husband and a good father at the same time. So,
great fucking point. And no. Let's be clear.
I agree with that, but I think there's levels to this.
But I
think you can be a bad father, a bad husband, and cheat. But I think that when you start bringing additional babies, I think that takes it to another level. No. And maybe it's because I'm looking at it from a woman's perspective. Because at the end of the day, now it's kind of fucked up that I'm still married to you, and we got this son who's in the public eye, and I also got to explain to him what's happening in the media. I think that's a horrible layer to have to push through.
I understand, and let me retort.
It is horrible.
Okay. Me being the fucking excellent communicator I am, and I'm a good father, I would look my kid in the eye. And because of the relationship that I've already established with my child and how much they love me, when I pull them to the side and be like, yo, I gotta spit some game to you and I gotta tell you the truth. Your father was loose, I fucked up, I made mistakes. You got a sister or sisters that I had a blah, 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 and I made mistakes and blah, 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 blah. You know, I want to introduce you to them and blah, 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 blah. Those motherfuckers are going to be excited that they got sisters. I'm sorry, Dion. They're going to be like,
you're telling that story the wrong way, though, Vic.
I don't know. I don't necessarily
know that's not the truth, Vic. The truth is, you look at your kid now, you say, son, Dad's been the raw dog.
Look, and that's fact. But look, we talked about this on many podcasts ago. I think when we talked about the Will and Jada, when Vic brought up something, he was like, people with that type of life, they live differently. We can't comprehend how they live. They live different. They don't live like us.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
They don't live like
different.
us.
It's different.
He's a basketball player.
Think about it like this. No. Think about it like this. In our walks of life, we have to really be careful economically, socially, like how we move, we make mistakes, we could lose money. That shit makes a difference. When you're a multi-millionaire, it's fucking different. We'll never know what it's like. A man like me, in my life right now, never in my I'm thinking about a vasectomy. A man like Melo, never in his mind is he thinking vasectomy. He's thinking the more the merrier. Everyone should have my seeds. I'm fucking Melo. I'm the top 10% in this country.
Okay, well, let's talk about that then, because we all know at least one person that's been in this position. So for regular people like us, is it okay to do something like that when you're separated?
All I'm gonna say, hold on, Dion.
No,
you don't have money.
No. Hold on. It's no. In my opinion, it's not good for anyone. It don't matter what your tax bracket is. But what I'm saying, the consequences are different.
Different, right?
You can recover. No.
Because we also know.
Maybe.
I'm saying maybe because
when you are wealthy or when you're a millionaire, you can recover from mistakes way easier than you are.
But we also know that millionaires millionaires are often on drugs. A lot of these people in the spotlight are killing themselves, medicating themselves with drugs and alcohol. So you don't know how this is going to turn. You don't know how this kid is going to turn out. We really don't know. So it's an assumption to say that just because.
Melo ain't no being.
I'm not. I was talking about his son. I was talking about his son. But my point is, the way that children react to things, we don't know just because they have money that his son will be like, oh, okay, my dad was a slut. That doesn't mean that he'll just brush it off just like that.
We can't. Well, we can't speak in all cases, but let me give a point. Let me give a point because we can't speak in all cases in a complete blanket. But I'm willing to say that tax brackets do matter, because if we poor and dad cheats on mom or something, now we got to live in some smaller place eating this Section 8 food and stuff because the money ain't right. It's different from seeing if my parents are a millionaire and they can move in a house just as big,
that doesn't
and
mean
I'm
that
getting
those kids
spoiled.
are more healthier mentally. That doesn't mean they're
But
healthier
I'm saying
mentally.
it's easier. It's an easier adjustment.
You have a point, but here's my point. In specific conversation to the Melo and Lala, they have a very healthy relationship with their child.
Yeah.
They went out of their way to say that. They didn't divorce immediately and they were separated, and the whole time they had a very healthy relationship with their child. So that don't, that doesn't that doesn't apply to them. And it probably speaks to the level of, I'm not gonna say professionalism because that's just a fucked up word, but Lala's probably incredibly mature, and she didn't use the fact that her husband's a cheater to make him look like a bad dad.
More realistic. Yeah, she's more realistic about it.
Exactly, because and this may be veering left or right, but the truth of the matter is, if I cheat on my wife, it makes me a terrible husband. But far too many times in this country, that's lumped into being a bad father. And that's not exactly fair.
But let's be honest.
It's not fair, though.
No, let me finish though. But to be fair, and this is not just for men, this is not just for men, this is for women also. Because the thought process behind it is, if you care about the family, if you care about your kid, then you care about your family structure. And there are certain levels of respect. So the thought process behind it is, if you care about your family structure, then you would have went through with the divorce, make sure your family is okay, and then went and did your dirt. So it's almost like a contradiction to say, well, yeah, I'm such a great father, but I also fucked up my family by making stupid decisions. So if you're being focused on your family, then you handle your family first with whatever decision that you're going to make. So it's not like people are just saying that, like, oh, you can't be you're a bad father just because you're a bad husband. The thought process behind it is that if you are such a great father, then you would have taken care of your family first, did your divorce and did whatever you had to do, and then went and did your dirt. So it's almost like you didn't really care that you just blew your family up. And
no, that
product behind
that makes sense.
You brought the trauma into your house, so that's the thought process behind it. It's not like people.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense if you remove emotional decision making, humanity, and a bunch of other things of why people make rational and poor decisions in life. Cool. That's how I moved, Leon. I wouldn't do that, but I'm 10 years. And my kids are 7 and 4. Like I agree with what you're saying, but my point is what you're removing, and I'm gonna keep it a bang. Right now, listen, my lady's fortunate. My kids are 4 and 7. I'm never leaving her while them kids are babies. Never, because I sacrifice everything for my children and the environment. So I wouldn't play myself. You're right. But I'm going to keep it a bang. When them kids are 14, 15, 16, 17, I don't know what that Vic's going to be thinking like when them kids are being on their own. That may change the dynamic of the relationship. Also, if Vic woke up and had 300 and had 15 million in his bank account, I'm gonna keep
It's
it
a
a band.
it's
I
a
don't
different.
know.
It's a different.
But if you have that
I've never
mentality
been
now,
Vic with
I
50
would,
million.
Vic, I would suspect that
Vic,
you would
hold
be
on.
smart enough not to get someone pregnant. I think it's a very
It's not
different thing
even
to go
That's
out
different.
and do
With all
something
due
like that.
respect, let me be very transparent, Dion. Let me be very transparent. Vic with 50 million in the bank, right, could look at the landscape and say, I could be a great fucking daddy with 5 wives.
People think differently in
Well,
different
everybody,
situations.
I'm smart enough.
So you're missing
I'm
my
gonna
point.
break the news to
So
old girl.
what you're really saying, what you're saying is you're faithful because it's cheaper to keep her, not because you respect your family. And so that brings me back to my point. The whole point is, if you are devoted to a family, then you would be focused on your family, no matter
I disagree.
what.
I think it's very unrealistic to think
What I'm
everybody's on the
saying
same
is-
standards. Hold on, because I think when
No.
you have to hold athletes, celebrities, rappers, singers, you have to hold these people to different expectations.
I think you guys
You
are
don't
missing
get
what
with
I'm
an
saying.
athlete
I
and
think
don't
you guys are
expect
missing
them
what
to
I'm
do.
saying. I think you guys are missing what I'm saying because I'm so beyond the cheating thing. That's just I have opinions about that. That's beyond that. But I'm talking about introducing more children. I think that introducing the children is what takes it to a completely different level. And I think that I think it's a big deal because I think raising children, period, is a big deal. I don't think it's something that you just go,
it's a very big fucking deal.
Introducing another child. But I think bringing another child into a dynamic that's already not working is, I think, borderline irresponsible. It's probably not even borderline.
Yeah, I mean, it's irresponsible,
and I
but
think
I agree.
a whole other level. Now, if he's out there cheating and they move on and they get divorced, I think that's a very, very different thing, and probably something that's just a part of it. But when you get someone pregnant and you're being irresponsible like that, I think that's the problem.
I think you have a point, and I think you're right. And let's make it very real. My kid's just 7 and my kid's just 4. Hypothetically speaking, I would never do it. But let's just go ahead for the conversation's sake and say that I went out on a fucking bachelor party in South Florida with a bunch of dudes,
lightly.
And I got fucking completely hammered and played myself and had sex with some strippers we hired. And
raw sex.
No, but it's a great point.
What's the
Dion's bringing up a great point. So let's say I make the ultimate mistake as a married man with children, and that happens. A year later, XYZ, I get an email, a call, blah, blah, blah. She's telling me, yup, I just had a kid. It's yours. I want a DNA test and all that. And I'm like, holy shit. I would not want to introduce my 7-year-old. Like right now, my daughters, the life I've built, there's no fucking way I would want to introduce a third party in this. There's no way. There's no way that would even make sense. I would never want to do that. It don't matter if I got 200 million in the bank.
Because it's getting so sentimental.
No. My point is what Dion is saying, and I'm a button this up because we've been on this for a while. But what Dion is saying is that there is a morality to this that transcends money. It transcends money at a certain point. She is 100% right. It's not about money.
I disagree completely.
I just want to say,
disagree all you want.
I just want to say this is a WWGD moment. What would Gertrude do? Because
who the fuck is Gertrude?
If this was 1950 or 1960, that child would be welcome. That child would be welcome to Sunday dinner.
That's facts.
Like the rest of them.
Yep.
Hey, listen, people in marriages, sometimes they make mistakes and they make children. Sometimes they go off and they just be complete dogs and they
old school shit.
And they shit on their family. But I do believe in redemption. I do think people can make mistakes, and I do think there's room for redemption regardless of the situation, as long as you don't do something so egregious that forces one of us to go behind bars or some shit like that, or you do something to one of the kids, I think there's
if you my lady and you go and fuck someone else and get pregnant, that's fucking egregious, my man.
That's
I don't know what you're looking at.
That's to you. That's to you.
On the flip side, you would legally be the father.
That's to you.
Even if legally you would be the father.
That's egregious.
That's
so let me be fair, gender wise.
So Eric, that's not egregious to you. If that happened to you, that's not egregious.
I can't use my belief.
This is unrealistic expectations.
It's very convenient.
Listen, check this out. I know a married couple right now where the wife and the husband have been married, and the wife has another baby by another man, and they're still together.
Well,
I know that too.
But listen,
so don't tell me it doesn't happen.
I know somebody too.
So don't tell me it doesn't happen.
I'm asking you, Eric, if God forbid that happened to you or in your circle,
what I'm saying,
forgiving?
Victor, what I'm saying,
you're gonna be as forgiving and
Victor,
open.
Listen, let me answer. What I'm saying is, I cannot say no to something like that without going through the extenuating circumstance. I don't know how I may feel. I don't know what the circumstance is.
All right. On that note, how you telling other people how they should feel?
I don't understand.
You're the one telling people how to feel. I'm not. I'm saying that it's kind of difficult to
No, that's not what you said earlier.
I'm still trying to understand why we comparing regular people to celebrities. I'm trying to still understand that because it's a complete difference.
Because I
only said it because he asked me to.
It's the kid that's
a long time ago. I agree.
You want to know what? Honestly, Chris, in a way you can compare it, and you want to know why? Because there are people who make $20,000 who have had kids, and the wife stayed. There are people who make $20 million and have had a kid. So I mean, at the end of the day, it boils down to what the couple decides to do. I mean, we all know someone who's gotten cheated on, or who's cheating, or who saw somebody, and they're still in the relationship. So to be honest, being wealthy hasn't changed it. Doesn't make a difference.
I just think we need to have realistic expectations when it comes to certain things. Like the Beyonce and Jay-Z of sports is LeBron and his wife. If LeBron had a baby or some twins out of wedlock, Bronny Jr. will hate LeBron for 2 days. Will be mad at LeBron for 2 days, and LeBron gonna tell him, "I'm gonna put you in Space Jam 3 and buy your own mansion." He will be forgiven. It's not the same. The PTS given is not the same. Carmelo is the same. Carmelo is worth over $100 million.
Carmelo Anthony is not
worth over $100 million. The PTSD is not gonna be the same. He can put his son in a mansion.
I have a hard time believing that a parent-child relationship
it's different.
It's about money. I have a hard time believing.
But it's not all about. But it plays a difference between you putting us in a situation where now we're struggling and suffering.
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because there are people who are dirt poor who beat their kids, and their kids still want to be with their parent.
That's why I said it's not. That's why I said you can't speak for all.
You're making Chris's point. You're making Chris's point.
It goes beyond. Well, that's what I'm saying. So, what do you mean? Because if I'm a child, it happens all the time where a parent is abusing a kid and the kid still wants to be with their parent. So the relationship between a parent and a child, I don't think it has anything to do with money. I think it's the way that the relationship is set up. And if I have a close relationship with my father, I think the kid is likely to be hurt of what they're doing. And I don't think you just appease that by giving them money. And I think the thought process behind it, I think it's pretty scary personally. It's almost like saying I love you, and the way that I heal your pain is to give you a TV. I just don't think parents think like that.
Listen. I could speak directly to this shit. My mom and dad were never together. They were together for like a year and a half. When my mom was pregnant, my dad found out she was pregnant. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not fucking with y'all. Like, he's an asshole." Like, I've never had that unity. It was separated off rip. So I could tell you from fucking experience how this shit works. in the first 6 years, my mama told me he wasn't shit. And it was ingrained that he wasn't shit, so I was programmed to believe he wasn't shit. That motherfucker came looking for me in New York with his homie 2 or 3 times. And I was always intrigued. And when I learned who he was and I saw him, that motherfucker had some swag, I was like, okay, I see why I have his son. And he won me over eventually. Like,
I think Vic getting Pop some credit. Said he had swag. Give him props, Vic.
Yo, yeah, and to this day, like, we ain't even cool. I'm gonna hit him on Father's Day and be like, yo, what's good, bro? Because I want to squash it. But the point is like, that blood is so strong, Dion. You know what I'm saying? Especially with a young man, like, you forgive. Kids are more forgiving than adults.
I'm not saying that the kid is not going to forgive. Like literally, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, as the adult, you got to be smarter than that to bring a child into your familiar situation. I'm disagreeing that.
Basically, what Dion's saying is, Carmelo should have wore rubber.
We don't believe in Carlos, remember? But yeah, maybe he should have been a little smarter.
That's true. All right.
I think you should hire Carmelo. That's what I think you should do.
He gonna need the money when he get hit with that child support if those are his things. If those are his things.
Well,
that was fun. You guys are feisty tonight. I like it.
I know, man. It's hot. It's the weather. It's hot. It's hot out here and shit. Lots of tequila.
Summertime.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
They call this tequila weather.
That's facts. It's always tequila weather. Let's get that straight. Always tequila wave cap weather.
In Los Angeles is always tequila weather.
I just thought of an idea. I'm gonna make a shirt, tequila and wave caps. That's gonna be my brand.
Wow.
Holla at your boy, tequila and wave caps. That's how we do it. Let the do-rag hang.
As always, make sure y'all please hit the like button. Subscribe, share, comment. Chris, Vic, Dion, they love to comment back.
Sure and I'm always interacting.
They're waiting on those. Hey, make sure you go to our page. Hashtag Texas BBW. Tell us, do you think
you're a damn fool.
Tell us, do you think it's disrespectful for child property?
I guess
bring up the big women of San Antonio.
Texas BB Dub, right? I'm kind of.
And I get accused of so much BBW slander. Send all the BBWs my way. I knock them down like bowling balls. I'm not BB down.
Hey, listen. Why you at it? Dig into our.
Cheers to y'all.
While you're at it, dig into our archives, YouTube. Go and find I Like My Girls BBW.
Exactly.
Reposting that on all platforms this weekend, so you can see how we
felt. Slander us BB Dubs.
Look,
hey, I do my push-ups. I
on the low though. He trying to act like he don't, but he do on the low.
I do. I love the BBWs. I'm sorry that's a misconception, but I really do love the BBWs.
Until next time, we'll holler at y'all. Arrogant Underdogs. We out.
All right. Peace, y'all. BBWs inbox me.